Good morning, everybody.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Talk About It Tuesday. Hope you guys all had a nice weekend. And as you can tell, I'm trying to bring in the summertime with the flowers and the floral and the bright colors. I'm ready for it. So I'm Laura, Education Outreach Program Manager.
They're still joining right now, so let's wait a second.
Daniel, Education Outreach Specialist. Um, We are going to review today the updates in My Alabama 911 and the June 1st compliance audit. So we're just going to go ahead and get started. As always, oops, sorry. This is our staff. And I think some of them are probably online joining us. A couple of them are down the hall. But this is all of us and our contact information if you don't already have it. If you have one of our emails, you can get all of us. So if you have something that is for someone else, they can direct you to us. So we're just going to go ahead and jump right in. On June 1st, we will begin the first official audit of the Public Safety Telecommunicator Certification mandate. And realizing that the law was enacted and began in 2022, and there have been notifications of not being in compliance, whether that's been by email or phone call or even a letter. This compliance audit is composed of all the components of compliance, not just the initial certification. So just briefly, I know that most of you've heard this, but the back end of it in the very beginning, getting all the data, we were looking at the numbers for certification based on the 40-hour course alone. But the two components are not just the 40-hour course in reciprocity, but also the continued education. And so this audit is all of those things in one. So whether or not they're certified or have not completed the CEUs, all of this is in this audit. So when we talk about the audit, just a reminder that this means 100% every single PST employed with your organization needs to be compliant, certified, reciprocity, and CEUs, all of the above. And you have 180 days as of January 11th to get that 40-hour certification and that reciprocity. And then from the date of state certification, which would mean completed reciprocity after the 40-hour, then they would have 12 months from that period to begin earning the 12 hours of continued education. Sorry. Okay, so we're just going to jump right in on what we have. And for the number of PSTs in our state, which is, as of this morning, I believe 1,658, something around that number. Only 55 of those PSTs are not state certified and compliant. 55 out of over 1,600. Now, those numbers do not reflect people who are within their grace period, which is that 180 days, or if they were hired prior to January 11th, the 360 days that we required prior. So those are the 55 that are accurately not compliant when they should be, not within that grace period. 16 of those only need reciprocity, which is 4 questions within My Alabama 911. And so a total of 27 out of the 106 primary PSAPs are considered non-compliant. And if you look at this list, you can see the name of the PSAP, and next to it is the number of people within that center who need attention to bring the center to compliance. So you'll see the majority of these are very low, 3, 2, and 1. There are a couple that are higher. And so we're going to talk a little bit about what those reasons would be.
Well, also before we get there, we also need to talk about how this is the current number as it stood this morning.
Yes.
These numbers can change because this is no longer just a certification where you just get your certification and you're done. You could have somebody who's hitting their renewal date in the next couple of days and your number grow by another PST, or
Correct.
not be on this list at all and then you show up later.
And the opposite is true. If you have someone who is scheduled for renewal today, may have been over the weekend or in the next 1 or 2 days, we click a button. By we, I mean Daniel. Clicks a button every day that he's working every work day, and renews people. So if you're on this list and you may have one person and you say, oh, well, they're set to renew, they have their CEUs, that may be the reason. So don't panic when you see your name on the list. We're going to talk about how to find all this information, what you need, and where you stand. So these are the 3 reasons for non-compliance, which I briefly touched on. Needing reciprocity, which is the 16 I mentioned out of the 55. That means they have completed their 40-hour certificate or certification course, but still need to complete reciprocity within My Alabama 911. While we're on reciprocity, there are many ways you can access that. If you are a PST who needs it, you sign in to My Alabama 911, which is app.al911board.com. And if you have not created a sign in with your email address and your password, you can just click the link that says use passwordless sign in, and it will send you an email to the email address we have recorded for you. So that means whatever email address leadership has entered when you were hired, that is the email address you will get an email from. And it will tell you, it will sign you in. And then you look on the left panel of My Alabama and you will see reciprocity. So that is one way as a PST. As leadership, you can go into My Alabama 911, select My PSTs, and see whoever needs reciprocity. Not only will it show that under their status, but on the right side, the kind of the far right of their profile in the list, it will say reciprocity email. You can click that link to send them an email to remind them that they need reciprocity. So not only can you guys do that, the PST can get it directly. We also, when we see that, sometimes we'll just go ahead and click that the reciprocity email, just kind of help you guys along, remind people. We understand people are on vacation and sometimes things go to spam. That is also something we've just recently modified. Our email provider through My Alabama 911, we were noticing and getting errors that people were not receiving emails or they were significantly delayed by many hours. And that passwordless link is not last forever, and it has a time period that it works. So we had multiple people saying, hey, I got it, but I didn't get it 7 or 8 hours later and it's not valid anymore. So we have taken steps to change that and to improve it, and now you should be able to receive those emails. But in the event that you sign on and you do passwordless link, go check your spam just in case you don't get that within a couple minutes, because it is likely we still get spam. There's one particular person who is a trainer coming to our state and has come, and I don't know what it is, but every time she emails me, it goes into my spam. And so she actually sent me a message this morning. Hey, just letting you know I sent you an email. And that is just sometimes the way it is. So if you're expecting one, go look in your spam. Number 2 reason would be not certified, meaning they have not completed that 40-hour course or they have completed it, you've uploaded it, and we have not approved it. So when you
As a lot of times these people that are showing as not certified have been certified, they just haven't been reported to us. So you
right,
just need to turn in their certification information.
really all of this that we're talking about is all about accurate reporting. If you don't report your people or yourself, we have no way of knowing. I always used to say in the center, I do not have a magic is it magic 8 ball or magic, I don't know, I can't read your mind, I don't know. So we only know what you tell us. So please make sure that all the things you're reporting are accurate. But just to touch on that, where I put on this slide that it has not been received and accepted, if you uploaded that 40-hour certificate for someone over the weekend or last week, this is also something we manually do. We look to confirm that that certificate is the proper certificate. For instance, if you upload and say that John Brown took the NINA TCC course and completed on March 1st, we're going to look at that certificate and make sure that John Brown matches up on the certificate and with the person that you're reporting it for. So the names match. We're going to make sure that the certificate is the NINA TCC course, not a NINA 8-hour course that they took or something else. And we're going to ensure that the date is accurate. And the reason is, again, accurate reporting, because that will be the date we show that person certified. So we want to ensure that all of the information matches up. So please know that if you have submitted something yesterday, the last weekend, over the weekend, and it has not been approved yet, we do approve that. Once it is approved, then they are 40 hours certified waiting on that reciprocity. Did you want to add something to that?
Just that if you have somebody that has been working there for a while and they're listed as not certified, the competency exam is no longer available. Every person who is not certified needs to take a 40-hour PST course.
Yes. And then number 3 reason would be that they have lapsed, meaning they have been certified through us, state certified, and it has expired due to not having continued education reported to us. Would like to reiterate reported, because I have spoken to people, Daniel has spoken to people, probably everyone in this office. We have received emails, communication saying we did that. We did a class 2 weeks ago, but it's not been uploaded. Not in Virtual Academy, no longer doing that in Virtual Academy, but uploaded into my Alabama 911 as continued education. So those hours that we're calculating are between the renewal period. Referencing John Brown, March 1st, he completed and did his reciprocity. He has until the following March 1st for 12 hours. Anything he took during those 12 months counts towards the 12 hours. Nothing rolls over. If he took something in February, that does not roll over. It is all during that renewal period. So if you have not taken the CEUs or have not reported them, you will show lapsed. So those are the 3 reasons that you may have someone in your organization non-compliant. So here we're just showing that out of the 55 PSTs who are non-compliant, only 16 need the reciprocity. 26 are lapsed and do not meet the CEU requirement. So if you need CEUs, we are offering 120 hours of in-person free training provided by our organization between now and August 31st. So there are plenty of opportunities for you to do in person. Additionally, your virtual academy hours also count towards your CEUs. And just briefly, when we're talking about virtual academy, I have an email from someone that off the top of my head, I cannot remember, but if you're watching, I'm going to get back to you. If you are taking virtual academy courses, this is just a reminder, those do transfer over, but it is a manual process. Once a week, we get a report from Virtual Academy, and then Daniel imports that report into my Alabama. It matches up to your PST with the Virtual Academy username that we have on file and their My Alabama account. They sync up, then those hours show. So for instance, if you have someone who may have lapsed in the last 2 days and they took something 2 weeks ago or a week ago and it is not in there, fear not. It will be. We would like to say our goal is no more than 2 weeks from the time something is taken. We get the report and it's imported. If for some reason you do see that that they're not showing up after that period of time, please let us know, because there are occasions in which the reports have been inaccurate. Additionally, if we do not have your PST's Virtual Academy username listed in their profile within my Alabama 911, they will not link up. That is the key to making sure everything is linked in both systems. So we'll talk a little bit more about that in a minute. And then 13 they're reporting the initial 40-hour certification. So 14 of those 55 have not reported to us that they have that they have completed their 40-hour course. So that's just a little breakdown.
And we are offering 3 ETC courses in that same time period that somebody can take, and that's not included in those 120 hours.
Right.
So,
because that's not continued education, that's basic information education. So yes, we do have a class, and I don't think I put a slide on it, but we'll go over that in a minute. But we do have a class here in Montgomery at our office, June 16th, I think it's that week. So that is one here, and then we have some following classes as well. So if you're one of those 13, or you have one of those 13, or if you're one that is within that 180 grace period and haven't done that is an option for you as well. So if on June 1st, when we check and see that there are organizations that are listed as non-compliant, this is how you will be notified. First, we will notify you with a letter via snail mail. We want to make sure that you have a physical letter. This is the first time we're doing this audit, we will do this. It is not to say that we will continue to send physical letters, but this audit, we will send physical letters to the ECD director. This will go to the ECD director because they are essentially responsible for all the PSAPs in their district. Additionally, we will send an email. We will send an email to the ECD director. We will also send an email to the PSAP director. So they will, every leadership person involved with whatever organization is non-compliant will receive notification those two ways. I would like to say that when the physical letter comes in the mail to the ECD, there will be a list of whatever organization within your district, if it's one or three or however many, what agency it is, and what needs to be completed and fixed to get you guys out of non-compliant status. Additionally, we will make a phone call, realizing that there are a lot of times things are dropped through the cracks. I don't know, mail doesn't get through, or maybe the email address blocked us or whatever. We're trying to make sure everybody has a way to get this notification, but we will not call until it has been a couple weeks after we have sent that letter, because our hope is that whoever receives these notifications will make efforts immediately to get into the compliant status, because within 90 days, at the 90-day mark from June 1, 3 months later, if you still are in the non-compliant status, that is when funds can be withheld from your district. So you will have 90 days from June 1 to get your people, however many that is, into compliant status. So again, I would like to reiterate that the accurate reporting is vital for you guys to be notified, not just of this, but anything else that we're doing. So making sure that the leadership is listed properly within My Alabama, email addresses are accurate. I can't tell you how many times I've gone to send kind of a group email and I get kickbacks because one letter's off, realizing that that is something that we all do. My fingers get faster than my mouth and my brain, which is crazy to think about. I know, because it's very fast. However, that happens. So take a moment to go in and check your information and your people's to ensure that we have the accurate contact information. Okay, so now we're going to talk a little bit about My Alabama 911 updates, and this all goes back to the compliance audit. So you've probably heard us discuss this, talk about it, but there are now weekly PSAP reports that are within My Alabama 911, accessible to you manually, and you will be sent, starting the first week of June, a weekly report via email. This weekly report will tell you everything that you need to do, or it will tell you that you're in good standing and there's not anything. So I'm going to talk a little bit about what is on those. But first, this is just an image of where you can locate that if you don't want to wait on your weekly report, if you want to check it yourself, if you want to need to show it to leadership, whatever the case may be. First, when you click on My PSAP, or My PSAP, sorry, you will see where I have circled at the top, weekly PSAP report. You can click on that button. When you click on that, it will take you to that next little image at the bottom, and it will say download weekly PSAP report. When you click on that download, you will be able to see all of the things that you need to address. I'm going to show you an example.
I
So
think we have Caitlin.
Caitlin, maybe she's on there, Shelby County 911.
Yep.
We used you as an example. You guys are in good standing, compliant, but really just wanted to show what this looked like. So on your end, when you receive it via email or when you download it, this is what it looks like. First, I like to point out where the arrow is pointing. The guide, the guideline, the key, all of those things, that is to make sure you know what each individual status, renewal date, compliance status, all of those things mean, knowing that these are a little new, and new because we've now begin to and be able to monitor the accurate data as far as the CEUs. Now that we have done the transition and we are now in maintenance with My Alabama, with CEU records reporting and all of those things, we've added kind of a couple little statuses, and these are really just to make sure you're clear. So I'm just going to briefly go over them, and this is really tiny on my screen, even though I have glasses, but needing certification, not certified means they have not done the 40-hour and it's not been received and approved. Again, that is not the people who are outside. Those are the people that are outside that 180-day window, not the ones in the grace period. Needs reciprocity. ALPST1 certified means they have completed their 40-hour and their reciprocity. They are good to go. And now we are monitoring CEUs at this point. The grace period is, like I mentioned, that will show you who is in that time frame.
With the exception of if someone turns in their certification, their status changes to needs reciprocity, they are still within their grace period, and they'll be needs reciprocity and compliant. That's because they're still in that grace period. But they have to finish that to become the fully ALPST1 certified.
Right. Thank you. And then exempt, there are some people who, work in the center but want to keep their records, and they're exempt because they are not performing the duties of a PST. That is that status. This just came to mind. We've had a couple organizations that have people maybe that are out on maternity leave or medical leave, military, thank you. Whatever the case may be, if you have someone who is on an extended leave, please email us, notify us so that we can change that status to exempt for a period of time so that you will not fall into non-compliance for that one PST. So you can see the guideline here, and this is what this image is what the PSAP report will look like. That first missing hire date. So I see on the right, you see issues to address, missing information. We talked about the Virtual Academy username being so important. If it's missing in our system, this will be listed here. That will be very important for you to link and go in there and modify your PST's profile with that. If they're missing an email address, we will not be able to communicate with them regardless of what that is.
Can't do reciprocity.
They can't do reciprocity. They can't sign into My Alabama 911. So it is vital we have that as well. And of course, we must have the hire date for accurate reporting. If we don't have a hire date and then you put someone in past their 180 days, you are immediately non-compliant. So this is urgent and important that you do that and report them within the 30 days and include all information that is listed.
And we'll just go over real quickly. The most common of these is the Virtual Academy username being missing. If you need to add that, you sign into Virtual Academy as a manager account. It's called manager, right? And then next to their sign in, you'll see their Virtual Academy username next to their name. We had Virtual Academy specifically list that on their website because of us and how we use it. So then you go into their PST profile on My Alabama, click edit, and add the Virtual Academy username there. If you have an issue where it will not let you put the Virtual Academy username that you are trying to put in, that's usually because there's a duplicate person. That person might have worked previously at another PSAP and have that name listed with the Virtual Academy tied there. Just send me an email or send an email to education, and we can get that corrected really quickly.
Yes. And I know we've talked a lot about just making sure the proper data is there, but we know that there are events and times that sometimes that is just that everyone's done the right thing, but there's something on the back end. We need you guys to notify us because we see it from our view and you see it from yours. So we are very, very thankful for all of you who reach out and say, hey, I saw this, but I don't understand, or it could be done differently. Can you change it? All of those things, we can make an effort to make it the most useful and easy to use for you guys and for us. And we are ever evolving, as you probably know, because we're always bringing you something new, that you see something new or something's been added or taken away. And a lot of that is because of you guys. So thank you for doing that, but continue to do so. And the next thing that will be listed would be non-compliant PSTs. Again, the key will be there. You will see who is what and what they need. And then we've listed the renewing soon, 90 days and less, and we're going in order of the soonest. And this is just to kind of help you guys keep up to date with what you need. And I would like to show that if it says CEU total, so this person listed under the first person, Heather, it says that she has 7.5 CEU. That is within her renewal period. So she still needs 4.5, if my math is right, to make 12. So she needs 4.5 before July 14th. So that renewal date is the date in which she needs to complete, or any of your PSTs need to have a total of 12 under the CEU total. If you have someone who is renewing and they have over 12 hours, they will not be on here. So if
It'll be
your
on the next
person,
page.
yes, they'll be on the next page. But if you have people who have met their goal before their date, we're not going to put them in this column. This is just kind of, we're going in order of importance here, and that's something you need to address. And we want to make sure that you have ample time to get those CEUs in, and you've been notified of that. And then the next is new hires within 60 days of ALPST 1 due date. That just means you have 60 days to finish that 40-hour certificate, upload it, and finish reciprocity. So I would like to point out that if you complete your 40-hour, or they complete their 40-hour, and it is completed on day 180, technically you would be out of compliance if they have not completed reciprocity on day 180. So that reciprocity is also in that 180-day time frame. Just remember that. So pushing it to the last minute will make your agency come out of compliance.
And reciprocity opens not when you upload their certificate, but when it's approved.
Correct.
So it has to be reviewed by us. So
Yes.
if you upload it, it's on day 179 and it's a Saturday, you may have that 1 day of non-compliance.
And not even if it's on a weekend, if we're out of the office,
Right.
if we're in the middle of meetings all day. I mean, this is, again, a manual process, and there's a lot going on back here. So don't push it to the last minute. Make sure that you put that and get that completed in enough time to allow those things to happen within that 180 days. And then you see on the right, PST CEU report. On the next page, I didn't do a copy of that on this, an image of that, but that gives you an entire roster of your people. It's basically like looking at My Alabama 911, my PSTs, and it shows you everything, their name, their status, their renewal date, all of the things that you see here. But this is just so you have all of that there. And of course, again, it tells you the CEU totals and the days until renewal. So this PSAP report is your way to make sure that you have completed all the tasks required to stay within compliance, that your people have, whether you're an ECD or whether you're a PSAP leadership. And so we have made it as easy as possible and multiple ways for you to check. So if you don't want to wait on that email, go check yourself. Again, you guys are responsible for that, and we just want to make sure that you can find it when you need it.
Also, if you see something on here, say you have somebody missing information, you go and add that information that was missing and go and click download report again. That report is produced once per day at 11 p.m. It's not a live report. And you'll see it at the top where it says as of, with the date and the time. We have the ability to print that as, we did it at 9 a.m. this morning, but we're having to generate that. And because of the cost to run automations, these run once per day at 11 p.m.
Yes. So if you have someone right now and you're one of the 55 and they have done reciprocity since we started, or since I pulled those numbers, or we pulled those numbers this morning, then it's not accurate.
It's live on the app.
Right.
So you'll see the information up there be accurate.
Yes.
But the report that prints out will once a day at 11.
Yes.
I might have clicked something here.
Okay, so we are going to take questions, but first I'd like to just take a brief moment to welcome our new incoming board members and thank our outgoing board members. While I've been here almost 2 years, and we had a board meeting last week, and Leah made everyone aware, and I didn't know this, but that this is the first time we've had this amount of board members come on board at the same time. And so it is an exciting time for us to have these new members support you guys and support us in all the different ways that we provide and things we do for 911 in the state. So you can see the people who are new and the outgoing. We so appreciate those who were here for all of these years. I learned at the board meeting myself that Fred has been here since the board's inception, which is just very exciting to know that someone's been supporting us for such a long time. But all of the people who are outgoing and those incoming, we're super appreciative of and looking forward to continuing the legacy of those who are leaving and working with all of the incoming members. So we have 7 districts, and these are the board members who support your district. If you don't know this, this is something for you to get to know. These board members are here for you just like we are. And we went ahead and just put their pictures out there because we wanted you to know, wanted you to know who supported you if you didn't know. It's important to know that because they come here and they hear what we have to say, they hear what you have to say, and it's the perfect medium for us to move forward in supporting you guys best. So if you don't know who represents you, please reach out and welcome them, and reach out to them when you might need them. So we talked about 120 hours of continued education being offered from us in person between now and August 31st. These are just a few things. The Alabama EMD class for practitioner there are 4 classes that are open to any organization currently, and those are listed here. I think one starts tomorrow, but this is one of those things where you do not register on our site. You would register directly with that instructor. And just a shout out to the instructors listed here. Thank you guys so much for opening up your classes to those who need it. We know that there are a lot of EMD programs out there that can be used, and we're thankful for all who are providing EMD, but those who want to use our program and take advantage of that, we're thankful for those instructors who are willing to open that up to you guys. We do have a new guidebook and guide cards, and any of these instructors will receive that for their class they're teaching. So anyone who attends these classes will be able to see what those look like. While they have not been sent to the printer yet, we have one minor thing we need to modify. We need to add a glossary to it, and that's pretty much the only thing. The rest of it has been signed off by the Office of EMS, and we are nose to the ground working on completing the training material. If I have talked to you, Daniel has talked to you about this, and even if we haven't, we need calls. We need recorded EMD calls. The more clear those calls are, the better. We have received some, and we are so grateful. But when we start reviewing them, some of the audio is just almost inaudible. It just is not going to be able to be used because of that. So if you guys have any good, bad, ugly, done well, done poorly, basic calls to guts hanging out, anything, we want to hear it, because that is the biggest thing that people have asked for. And we hope to very, very soon have a new class out with new training material, provide that for all of our instructors. And then moving from that, we will be working on the instructor course, because I know that everyone, we feel like every district at least needs to have an instructor. And I know that you guys want to have someone on site as well. A couple other classes. This is June 10th and 12th in Muscle Shoals and Troy. Tracy Eldridge with On Scene First will be teaching renovation time, rebuilding your 911 foundation. If you've ever seen Tracy, you know how engaging she is, and what a great instructor she is. So you don't want to miss this. She has 2 other classes that are full this week. So these are the only 2 that have openings. And so if you are one in anywhere near this area, and even if you're not, it's definitely worth traveling. It's 8 hours of continued education. And just to throw this in there, if you didn't know or forgot, when you take any of our courses that we provide and you register for on our My Alabama, those hours are automatically within 24 hours added to your PST's CEU count, and the certificate is there as well within the next day. They can download that if you want a physical copy. If not, it's housed within the app for access later. Another class we have in July in Opelika and Huntsville is Shannon Polito with Help for the Headset. If you attended, she is coming from California. If you attended our user conference and saw her for the first time, I know you were impressed. We had so many people tell us how great she was, and they wanted her to come back, and that's why we brought her back. She's doing these 2 classes in July, and then another 2 later in the year, maybe in early 2026. She's fantastic. This class is the power of one: leadership, wellness, and culture in the 911 center. And we all know that the culture is what truly keeps the center afloat or drowning. I mean, that's the case. So this is a class that you definitely should get on board if you're able to. We do have some seats. I think the classes are a little over half full right now. And these locations are really great, lots of stuff around there. So do your best to attend that if you are able. And then the 2-day comprehensive Survive and Thrive course, which we've already had one of this year with Reggie Parker from 911 Training Institute, has filled up, but we do have a wait list. And if you know anything about how our system works, if you don't, we have a wait list for every class. And when someone notifies us that they are unable to attend or they withdraw themselves, we go from that wait list and pull people. And it happens up until the day before the class. So, if you want to take these classes and you think that they're full, please sign up for the wait list, because that is how we fill some of these. In fact, just last week, we do have a CMCP class next week in Hoover and limited spots on this class. And just last week, we had 2 to 3 people withdraw, and we were able to pull people from the wait list who desperately wanted and needed to be in this class. So don't not register because you're on a wait list, because that just means that you're next in line.
It also gives us a good indication of something to bring back.
Absolutely. The more we have on the wait list, then that we kind of say, okay, well, we have a lot of people, and people have reached out on the CMCP class. We had people reach out by email because our wait list was full at one point, and they said, we really, really have a lot of people that could use this class. And so, we're noting that so that when we're able to bring it back next time, that's the case. So we definitely want to hear from you guys. Additionally, now these hours on this in digital class were not even included on our 120 hours. Sorry?
Same for EMD.
Right. EMD wasn't included either. So EMD and this in digital course, July 8th through 10th, were not even included in that 120 hours. And so these courses within digital are fantastic because they're kind of a comprehensive course. Whether you're new or you need a refresher, this is a good course for you. And I used this analogy, I think, in a meeting last week. You all know who your phone carrier is, right? You know who your cell phone providers are, your internet providers, and where that comes from and how you get it. You should know these things as well. So taking advantage of this in digital course is really important for the operations in your center. So these are going to be at Baldwin 911, and there are 2 sessions a day. Each are 3 hours. So that would be 6 hours for one in one day of CEUs. Now, this class is currently not on our app, but it will be before the end of the day. So we will have that on there, and you will be able to register on our app on the normal training registration link. And if you have any questions about that, I'm certain that Melissa within Digital can answer them. If you don't have her contact information, reach out to us and we will get you in touch. So that was a 37-minute Talk About It Tuesday, and that is a little long, but we appreciate you guys hanging in there. We really want to make sure that we kind of open every door for you guys and remove all the hurdles. And before I take any questions, I'd like to ask if any of our other staff members have anything they would like to add. I know upload, validate, aggregate. For Anderson, he may want to pop on here. I don't know. Leah, Adam, Michelle, I think Michelle's off today. So if anybody in our board needs to pop in and say anything, please do so now. It is your time to speak.
Nothing from me, guys.
Nobody so far. If anybody has any questions while we're waiting on anybody to pop in, please feel free to add them in your chat, in the chat. And if not, you are welcome to, okay, Adam does not have anything. You are welcome to unmute and ask us any questions. That's what we're here for. It's a Monday, but it's a Tuesday. Well, it's 10:39. We are going to sign off in about 2 minutes. We're going to allow anybody that may want to linger and have any questions to unmute. But again, you can always email me, Daniel, individually, or us together at education@al911board.com. We are thankful for you guys and hope to provide you what you need.
Love to see it.
Thank y'all. we're getting notifications as we speak of board reciprocity, the reciprocity being completed, and we love it. Daniel just showed me, he's like, I love to see this because when you find out that that's really all you need, it's like a light bulb. Oh, that's it. What are we waiting on? So thank you for completing that and encouraging your people and making sure they're aware as well.
All right.
All right, we're going to sign off. Hope you guys have a great rest of your week and be in touch if you need us. Thanks.